Forget everything that you think you know about keyword research and SEO, especially for real estate agents. Today I'm starting video 1 of a 7-part series talking about all of the 7 major aspects of growing YouTube channels, but for real estate agents. Many of today's top strategies that we hear at every marketing event are just going to lead you down a path of frustration and 0 leads. So I will be proving with examples and real life data and analytics what works to generate the most real estate leads in your market. What's up, homies? Jackson Wilkie here with the Channel Junkies. For over 7 years now, I have been teaching the Living In method. There are thousands of these channels across the country, and I personally have started 13 different YouTube channels in different markets. So in the next 7 weeks, we're going to be going through the 7 most crucial aspects of growing a real estate YouTube channel and kind of debunking all of the myths that are out there. If you want to generate real estate leads, grow your own YouTube channel, then I would definitely consider subscribing. What I want to do today is get straight over to the YouTube channel, because in order to actually show you what works, I got to show you what works. And I think that's the issue and the problem that we see today is it's just a bunch of theory of, hey, you should do these videos, and they don't work. So what I wanted to show you, this is the actual first real estate YouTube channel that I created. This is how the entire Living In City State YouTube channel program started. This channel actually wasn't even named Living in Portland, Oregon, but today in this video, week 1, we're talking about keyword research and SEO. Well, you want to know why everybody's channels are called Living In? I created that a little over 5 years ago with this YouTube channel because it wasn't named that. So that is one thing. If you're noticing a lot of these YouTube channels around and they're living in Dallas, Texas, living in Houston, Texas, living in Boise, Idaho, they all came from our teachings and the actual keyword research and SEO that people are searching. With that being said, I want to just show you a couple examples. And to do this, if you haven't uploaded or downloaded or made a extension yet for TubeBuddy, go ahead and do it. You can do tubebuddy.com/channeljunkies and you'll get a huge discount. But if we go right in here to Keyword Explorer, this is what you guys have to understand. I'm going to do this in kind of a 2-part series. Part 1 is what video titles not to do. Then part 2, we're going to talk about what videos to actually shoot. And I don't care if you're brand new at this or you've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, it's all going to make sense. And I've got the most up-to-date strategies to show you. So out of the gate, we typically want to do videos like Portland, Oregon, housing market, right? And that is an actual search term, but I'm going to show something here in a little bit. What we typically title or put titles for our real estate videos are Portland, Oregon market update, right? And that is actually not a search term. That doesn't come up. People don't search it, but yet hundreds or thousands and thousands of realtors are using it. In fact, the monthly search volume, insufficient data. It does say it's somewhat good. This can be misleading, misconstrued a little bit. So that's why I'll just tell you exactly what videos work or not. When we go to the results tab, you're going to notice Sean, the realtor guy here, he's got the majority. He's got 5 out of the 20. So you might be like, dang, he dominates that. That's fine. He can dominate it. If you look at the view totals, 147 views, 60 views. We've got 20 views. And then you have one over here and you're like, well, that's got 5,500. Well, if you look at it, first of all, it's pretty new, which is crazy. But it also has the reverse Portland housing market crash. So a lot of these crash style videos will get a lot of views, but they don't really work for getting leads. Again, if all your news is predicated on negative news and terrible housing markets, you do get a lot of views. You've seen YouTube channels out there where realtors get, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and views, and they just do the world is crashing videos. That's because those videos get recommended out there a lot to national and massively broad audiences. Those are not buyers. So we go right back down the list, 400 views, 100 views, 195 views, 100 views. Do you guys get the point yet? These are videos that just don't work. And again, if we go back and we want to do, inspection process, Portland, Oregon, right? The inspection process, Portland, Oregon. Again, we're getting told, hey, we're real estate agents, we need to do the inspection process, escrow process, all of that stuff. If you go to the result tab, you're going to notice 2 things. One, the views are even worse, 14 views, 158 views, 23 views. and you've got 1,000 views on this one, you have to realize that this right here is most likely an ad, or it's actually a home inspection company. So the other thing about this is, when do you do the home inspection? Typically when you're under contract. So this escrow process, first of all, they are never, ever, ever searched. Nobody cares about that. They're already under contract, yet you can look through here, and I mean, there are so many real estate agents doing these videos and getting told to do them, and you will too. Brandon King Realtor, even a bunch of Live Portland and Living PDX, they're doing these videos because they're getting told to, and they don't get any views. Now, you keep hearing me talk about views. At the end of the day, I'm not massively big on view counts and subscribers as being the end-all be-all, because those don't cash checks, homies. If we want to actually get buyer and seller leads from YouTube, then we have to figure out what videos the buyers and sellers are actually searching, and that is what we're going to talk about now. So now you understand the traditional style real estate videos where we got to do market updates and a lot of numbers, and we got to do inspections and escrow. They're just not getting any views. Some of those videos are 5, 6, 7 years old as well. So one more thing that you have to know is, hey Jackson, I've got a bunch of listing videos on my YouTube channel. Should I just create a new YouTube channel? Yes, if you're gonna try and get buyer leads from your YouTube channel, you're probably gonna wanna create a separate one and keep everything separated, because think about it, at the end of the day, nobody's gonna go into YouTube and type in 1897 Southwest Songbird Lane, Beaverton, Oregon, 97001, whatever that is, right? So that is never going to be searched, and then you're going to try and trick the algorithm by putting living in Beaverton, Oregon, but it's just a 2-minute property tour video. Again, that thing's going to get recommended to an audience searching that. They're going to see that video, they're going to jump off it immediately. Your average view durations and watch times are going to plummet. Later on throughout this 7-week process, we're going to be talking about what actually makes quality videos, how to make those videos, audience engagement, thumbnails and titles, analytics and data, and finally sharing the video or promoting videos to get more reach. So what I'm going to do is actually talk about the videos that do get searched, and then I'm going to pull up an incognito window, and we're going to search all these different things, and you're going to actually get to see which real estate agents are actually ranking, what video titles they choose, and then we'll dissect those videos. So let's get back over. And I just realized you probably didn't see what I was clicking, but right here, this is the TubeBuddy extension. You click on this and we are just using the Keyword Explorer. So now this is what actually started the whole entire living in method, was when I discovered, in fact, I have a list on my computer called the YouTube effing gold mine. This is about 6+ years ago when I discovered this one thing. If we actually do a Google search, and I don't use this anymore, it's called Keywords Anywhere or Everywhere, I can't remember. I haven't used it in so many years, and that is actually a keyword research tool as well, but it is used more for blog writing. So when we would come in here to Google and just type in Beaverton, Oregon, it would give you a search total right here. And when I clicked on that, I looked it up, and I don't have, because I don't pay for that tool anymore. I don't want to waste my money, but it would actually bring up the search, and that search was right around 35,000 searches a month, right? So I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. People are searching Beaverton, Oregon in Google 30,000 times a month. Holy crap. One day I did this. I typed in Beaverton, Oregon. This is when I started becoming an actual YouTuber. Again, when I started, there was nobody doing this. And so everything that was being taught was completely wrong. So I did 18 months of videos, from inspection videos, update videos. I did local interviews, shops, restaurants, bars. I did everything, and I could never get any views on any of my videos, and I never got any leads. It was not until I discovered that people were actually searching things. Again, we'll talk about what they search, how they search, and what kind of videos they want later on throughout this 7-week process. But watch when we select this. So through Google, 30,000 searches a month. Through YouTube, 373,000 searches a month. And I went, holy shito. I called up Jesse, my partner. I said, dude, we need to start vlogging. We need to start going out and looking at these communities and videoing it. There's no videos on these back then. Now there's a lot. But the thing that hit me, and again, we'll discuss this in a lot of detail around week 3 or week 4, Oh my gosh, people are actually searching what it's like to live in Beaverton, Oregon 10, 12, 15 times a month more in YouTube than they do in Google. They want to see what it's like before moving there. Does that make sense? So then you go to the results tab and you're going to see there's a bunch of living in Oregons, living in Portland, Oregons. There's Portland, Oregon livings. Again, these are all students. In fact, a few of these are team members who've just created their own YouTube channels. But now we see, right, the living in Portland, our channel has 3 of the top 20. Again, I don't live in Portland anymore, so I don't really keep this channel up to date. But we still have videos that are 4, 5, 6 years old, just generating leads every single day. Again, thousands of views. So 8,000 views, 7,000 views. I've got one here at 13,000, 12,000. And this kid was a young kid who joined us and he created his own channel. Again, we got another one here, 14,000. So that's what you have to realize, is that these are the videos that are actually pulling in views, right? And they're getting searched a ton in YouTube. Now, if you look right here, living in Portland, Oregon, you're gonna see that that is a massive search term. And this is how I created the whole living in system, right? So I realized that thousands and thousands and thousands of searches a month were coming in as the long tail keyword of living in Portland, Oregon. As you can see here, the search volume is excellent. It is maxed out. So this is getting searched a ton. Why is it giving a poor score, 16 out of 100? Because there are so many videos and so many searches. Now that's what makes it a little bit more competitive. So sometimes it can be tougher for a new channel to rank for some of these, but with what I teach and how we do it, you're gonna get YouTube channels ranking for this immediately. Again, later on throughout this 7-week process, we'll talk about descriptions, titling, all of that kind of stuff, and that's what can help you leapfrog just about anybody. So with that, we read this right here, the optimization strength. Again, nobody's really optimizing these videos well. That's the big secret that we can get in and outrank people. Again, we go to the results tab and you're gonna see a bunch of YouTube channels. In fact, homeboy here, this guy is very consistent. He is doing a lot of videos. I bet you this dude is killing it. I actually don't know this one, but my hat's off to him. We've got a lot. There's our YouTube channel. Again, we used to be the top ranker. And depending on the search, we may go in the incognito window here in a second and it could change. But again, it's a bunch of YouTube channels. And look at the view counts. I mean, it's just incredible, right? So again, this is an outlier. This has nothing to do with Portland. I don't even know why this is pulled in there. But we've got a lot of view counts and we are all over this as well. Now I'm gonna pull up that incognito window and we're gonna do a little bit more research. But again, I just wanna remind you, next week I'm actually gonna be talking about what makes valuable and quality content, because you can title these videos the right way. You can use all the keyword research and the SEO, but if your videos suck, if you do not have quality content, and I know exactly what to put in these now after doing probably 5,000 videos across multiple different states and coaching thousands of realtors, that's what we want to get across. But let's do an incognito search and show you what's really pulling up. And then we can also look at some of the top producing titles and you can just steal those and make your own videos. But real quick, I keep talking about my students. We have a really high level coaching program. We don't just let in everybody. You actually will go through an interview process and we need to figure out if you're actually gonna do the work. The problem is a lot of times we sold our course, people would open it and go, oh my gosh, I actually have to work, and then they would quit. We only want people who will put in the actual work. It's an incredible environment, 30, 40 plus students, weekly meetings and calls, plus step-by-step courses. My email is right here, info@jacksonwilkie.com. We're broker agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're a lender, what brokerage you're at, we don't care. We will work with anybody as long as you put in the work. And let's see if you're a fit. You may not be a fit and we may not be a fit, but the only way to find out, just shoot me that email, info@jacksonwilkie.com. And we'll see you on a call. New incognito window. Let's go to youtube.com, dog. Just brand new. Let's hit it up. Try something to get started. Okay, what do we want to search? Well, I am wanting, because I'm moving to Portland, a Portland, Oregon market update. That's what I need to know if I'm moving there, right? So first of all, you're going to see there's a ad right here, and then we've got the market shift in Portland. 134 views from a year ago. It's always painful when you shoot a video and you get 100 views in 1 year. That's less than a view a day, dog. Again, it's just kind of pulling in a bunch of random stuff. And then you're going to notice, remember this Sean the Realtor, he had a ton. I think he owns 7 of the top 20 searches, 147 views. Again, we've got kind of the market crash video right here. He's pulling in some views, you know, it's probably definitely maybe helping to get some people. But again, 62 views. You can see the shorts even have 12 views, 18 views. I don't think I really need to prove this much more. You guys can just say, well, I got to do it. People need to know it. You go ahead and do that because you create less competition. I'm going to be where people actually search, where we get leads. So I just wanted to show that. And then again, if we type in living in Portland, Oregon, living in Lake Oswego, look at all these search terms that are coming up. You've got YouTube channels right here. I don't even see ours anymore top ranking, which is, there it is right there. So again, when you become inconsistent, I'm going to talk about in week, I think it's 3 or 4, about consistency, how many videos you need to upload, what YouTube likes so that it ranks you over your competitors. But right now, they're showing, you know, this guy is a super consistent person. Maybe we can break down what he's doing. But these videos, right, they're getting a ton more views. And this is 3 days old. So by typing in living in Portland, it's coming, you know, as the latest from them. But this is kind of really what the views are coming from. Living in Portland, Oregon here, prepare for living, you know, guide for future residents, the best and worst about living in Portland, 55,000 views. These are really, really what people want to know. And you're seeing a lot of, like, you know, pros and cons, cost of living videos. Again, we'll discuss those in future videos. One last thing, again, just simply by typing in Beaverton, Oregon. Remember, this got 375,000 searches a month. Again, Homeboy's right up there again. He's got 8,000 views on a video. We've got a good one here with 13,000. They've gotten 7,000. We got another one, 13,000. Look at that, 3 years ago. And the way that YouTube works is it's 3 years old. That could be nearly 4 years old. It's just from 3 years to 4 years. That gap in there is 3 years old. So this thing's just sitting there working for us, right? Every single day. Again, super high view counts from these videos. And those are the keywords that if I were you, I would really try to attack, is basically your main hub and then all of the top 3 to 5 to 7 major city suburbs around it, and try to get ranking videos for that. So in order to do that, you've got to learn what videos to shoot, how to make quality content, how to get more engagement on your videos, which is one of the biggest triggers to the algorithm, and possible cheat codes to get your videos out to a broader, bigger audience. We're going to talk about all of that coming up in the next 7 weeks. And some of this may have been a little bit overwhelming. For the next 7 weeks, if you want to be prepared, this is about a 40-minute free course right here. So if you need to get your YouTube channel started, or maybe you started one and it's not done correctly, or it's not getting any views, you're going to want to watch this entire step-by-step video. It's a free course on how to properly set up your real estate YouTube channel.